We are looking at topical agents, and that is sulfur and its compounds as dermatological agents. Contents. We are going to look at introduction, allotropes of sulfur, sublimed sulfur, which is also known as flowers of sulfur, precipitated sulfur, which is also known as milk of sulfur, and selenium sulfide. Introduction. Sulfur is found in group 16. That is when you are considering the periodic table. It is in the oxygen family, and this family can also be referred to as chalcogens. Sulfur occurs in both free state, and it can also be combined with other elements so that you get the sulfates and sulfides. Examples of combined states of sulfur include gypsum, salt, which has calcium sulfate, Epsom salt, which has magnesium sulfate, galena, which is lead sulfide, and also pyrite, which is iron sulfide. There are various allotropic forms of sulfur, and we normally say that two or more forms of same element having similar chemical properties but different physical properties are called allotropes, and that phenomenon is referred to as allotropy. Examples of allotropes of sulfur are as shown in this diagram. We have the crystalline forms. Under that you can have rhombic sulfur or even monoclinic sulfur. You have the amorphous forms where you have milk of sulfur, colloidal sulfur, and also plastic sulfur. Look at compounds of sulfur as dermatological agents. Two types are of importance. Number one, sublimed sulfur, which is also known as flowers of sulfur. Then we have precipitated sulfur, which is also known as milk of sulfur. Sublimed sulfur. It is also known as flowers of sulfur. How is it prepared? It is prepared through sublimation process, and this is done by heating any kind of sulfur and condensing it. The result is a yellow powder. Sublimed sulfur is an ingredient of sulfur ointment, which can be found in the market. So the uses of sublimed sulfur include, it can be used as a mild antiseptic and also as a scabicide, that is management of scabies. It has keratolytic properties, and it can be found in form of lotions, creams, ointments for management of dandruff, acne, and also scabies. It can also be used in psoriasis and also fevers of the scalp. Then we look at precipitated sulfur. It is also known as milk of sulfur. How is it prepared? Industrially, it is prepared through heating together sublimed sulfur and calcium hydroxide. The reactions are shown there. So what you'll get is calcium pentasulfide. The mixture is then filtered, and then you add dilute hydrochloric acid to calcium pentasulfide. This is followed by stirring until the solution is alkaline to litmus. Then the precipitated sulfur is filtered, washed with water until the wash water is neutral to litmus. This is followed by drying, and you end up with a pale yellow powder. On small scale basis, precipitated sulfur can be prepared through acidification of sodium thiosulfate with hydrochloric acid. The thiosulfuric acid produced is unstable, and it decomposes rapidly to produce precipitated sulfur. We look at solubility and we compare the solubility of precipitated sulfur and sublimed sulfur. Precipitated sulfur is practically insoluble in water and very slightly soluble in alcohol and slightly soluble in olive oil, whereas sublimed sulfur is practically insoluble in water and in alcohol and sparingly soluble in olive oil. We look at the uses of sulfur. It can be used topically for management of a wide range of conditions, and it can be found in form of dust, lotion, creams, ointments, etc. And it can be used in management of scabies. It has antifungal properties and also has keratolytic properties. So it can be used in management of acne, psoriasis, and some eczema-like conditions. This slide shows examples of sulfur topical products. For example, sulfur ointment. We can add additional agents to sulfur topical agents like bentonite, which will act as a suspending agent. You can also add resorcinol, whereby resorcinol supplements the activity of the sulfur. You can add salicylic acid. This one has keratolytic action, which supplements that of sulfur. We can also add zinc oxide and calamine. These ones have protective action and mild astringent action because of the presence of zinc ion. You can also add talc. This one absorbs moisture and also improves consistency and prevents caking. You can also add iron oxide for cosmetic purposes or reasons. We look at selenium sulfide. Selenium sulfide is also referred to as selenium disulfide. It is widely used in medicinal and cosmetic applications. It has antibacterial, antifungal, and keratolytic properties. How is it prepared? It is prepared by passing hydrogen sulfide gas into selenious acid. This slide shows examples of selenium sulfide products. We have selenium sulfide shampoo and also selenium sulfide lotion. What are the uses of selenium sulfide? It can be used as an anti-dandruff agent, and therefore you'll get lotions and shampoos that are used to treat dandruff, seborrheic dermatitis, and also fungal infections such as tinea versicolor. So it is effective against certain fungal infections, that is of the scalp and also skin. Precautions when using selenium sulfide: you have to remember that this compound is highly toxic. And once you've used it, you have to ensure that you've washed your hands thoroughly. And then you should only use it on intact skin to prevent irritation, and it may cause staining of clothing or even jewelry. So, thorough rinsing is recommended. We have some sample questions. What is a topical agent? Give the synonyms of the following: sublimed sulfur and also precipitated sulfur. Outline the uses of sulfur compounds. State the uses of selenium sulfide, and then define the term allotropes. And using examples, classify the allotropes of sulfur. And then we have what are the uses of sulfur topical compounds. Thank you for watching.